For political leaders, whether prime ministers or presidents, projecting a polished professional image is essential as they symbolize the values and dignity of their nations on the global stage. However, the idea that governments should fund their leaders' wardrobes is not only misguided but wholly unfounded. In reality, no country, including the United States, allocates taxpayer money for such personal expenses. Against this backdrop, the recent revelations surrounding Keir Starmer, leader of the Labour Party, have ignited widespread outrage. Starmer, who built his rise to power on promises of fairness, transparency and change, now faces serious scrutiny after admitting to receiving thousands of pounds in luxury gifts. Following months of denying rumours, Starmer confessed to accepting designer suits, VIP concert tickets, and a stay in an opulent Covent Garden penthouse, all while urging the public to tighten their belts with tax increases and budget cuts. This scandal has sparked profound disillusionment, leaving many to wonder whether Starmer is betraying the very principles he once championed, becoming what he once vowed to stand against. A growing scandal surrounding Labour leader Keir Starmer has ignited public frustration, revealing an unsettling gap between the political elite and ordinary Britons. At the heart of the controversy are luxury items and accommodations that have drawn sharp criticism for being out of touch with the economic struggles many citizens are currently facing. The uproar began when it was disclosed that Starmer accepted £32,000 worth of designer suits and a pair of luxury glasses valued at £2,485. These extravagant personal items have fueled anger among the public, especially as the cost of living crisis continues to tighten household budgets across the UK. Many view the Labour leader's indulgence as tone deaf, given that average families are making tough choices just to afford basic necessities. The scandal took another turn when Starmer admitted that he and his family stayed in a Covent Garden penthouse worth £2,437, which he defended as necessary to help his son prepare for an important exam. However, this explanation has failed to resonate with many Britons who see it as emblematic of a broader disconnect between political leaders and the public they serve. Citizens struggling with rent, energy bills, and rising food prices find it difficult to relate to the idea of such an expensive stay being justified as a necessity. This controversy has not only raised questions about Starmer's personal judgment, but has also cast doubt on Labour's ability to represent working-class voters. Critics argue that the Labour leader's acceptance of high-value gifts and his apparent comfort with luxury suggests the party is drifting away from its core principles of economic fairness and social responsibility. Amid the growing backlash, trust in Starmer's leadership appears to be waning, with many questioning whether Labour remains in touch with the everyday realities of its supporters. The perception that Starmer's lifestyle reflects privilege rather than solidarity with struggling families risks further alienating a disillusioned electorate. As Labour positions itself as a government in waiting, the controversy underscores the challenge of maintaining credibility while navigating personal conduct in the public eye. With pressure mounting, the scandal has become a lightning rod for public dissatisfaction, raising difficult questions about integrity and accountability at the highest levels of British politics. Will Starmer be able to repair the damage and restore trust, or has this episode irrevocably damaged his standing with voters? Beyond expenses for clothing and accommodation, the scandal has further revealed Keir Starmer's acceptance of VIP hospitality. Among the most contentious gifts was £12,000 from the Premier League, granting him access to high-profile events and concerts, including VIP tickets to Taylor Swift shows. Additionally, nearly £40,000 worth of luxury gifts reportedly came from Lord Waheed Ali, a key Labour donor, prompting concerns about the sway wealthy individuals may hold over politicians. As the controversy around Starmer's freebies deepens, it has placed not only his actions under scrutiny, but also those of other senior Labour officials. High-profile figures like Chancellor Rachel Reeves and Health Secretary Wes Streeting have faced criticism for accepting VIP tickets and extravagant perks. This unfolding narrative has fueled a growing perception that Labour's leadership is indulging in a lifestyle of privilege, even as they call on ordinary Britons to make financial sacrifices. This version sharpens the narrative and maintains a logical progression, balancing detail with clarity while ensuring the focus remains on the political implications of the scandal. The Labour Party has drawn sharp criticism and intensified public frustration after unveiling a series of tax increases aimed at closing a £22 billion budget deficit. The new measures, which disproportionately affect pensioners and low-income families, have triggered an outcry, with many accusing the party of turning its back on the working-class communities it once vowed to protect. Critics argue that these austerity-style policies come at the worst possible time, deepening financial hardship for vulnerable households already grappling with the rising cost of living. The backlash has been further fueled by the behaviour of senior Labour officials, whose participation in lavish social events and acceptance of luxury gifts has created damaging optics. Images of party leaders attending elite galas and mingling with wealthy donors have only compounded public anger as voters struggle to reconcile these displays of extravagance with Labour's calls for shared sacrifice. The disconnect between the party's rhetoric and the actions of its leadership is causing many to question whether Labour still embodies the principles of equality and fairness it has long championed. Political analysts warn that this growing perception of hypocrisy could deal a serious blow to Labour's public image and undermine its traditional voter base. Once viewed as the champion of ordinary citizens, the party now risks alienating key supporters who feel abandoned by the very politicians they trusted to advocate for their interests. With disillusionment spreading among core voters, Labour faces the daunting challenge of restoring faith and demonstrating that its policies are genuinely aimed at promoting social justice rather than catering to elite circles. The combination of economic austerity measures and the perceived lifestyle disconnect among Labour leaders has opened the door for political opponents to exploit public discontent. If the party fails to address these concerns and reconnect with its grassroots supporters, it risks losing the trust of voters who are increasingly questioning whether Labour remains the party of the people. As the pressure mounts, all eyes will be on the party's next moves, whether it will correct course or continue to alienate the very communities it claims to represent. The unfolding scandal has not only highlighted isolated cases of personal misconduct, but has also exposed a deeper culture of entitlement permeating the upper echelons of Labour's leadership. Investigative reports reveal that several of Keir Starmer's senior allies have enjoyed access to exclusive perks, including first-class travel, luxury accommodations, and private retreats, perks far removed from the everyday realities of the voters the party professes to represent. This widening gulf between Labour's rhetoric and behaviour is sparking outrage, with grassroots supporters and disenchanted constituents questioning whether the party's leadership can genuinely champion working-class concerns. The revelations have further eroded public trust, underscoring a perception that Labour's elite are out of touch and fueling doubts about its commitment to deliver on promises of equality and reform.